Washington, D.C. Overrun by thugs, nature, and plagues? Seems topical to me. Hello, thanks for tuning in. This is Robert with Darker Past Publishing, and I'm here to talk about The Division 2. I played The Division 2 public beta over the weekend, and I actually had a lot of fun. I didn't really anticipate enjoying it that much because I kind of thought I had my fill with The Division 1. But after getting an opportunity to get in there and try out the new skills and the new system for armor and health, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It did prompt me to go back and play some of the Division 1, so I have a good contrast of how much they've changed, and my answer is not that much. It's not a... they did not reinvent the wheel here at all. In fact, it feels so close, I pretty much wanted to skip all the tutorials, which may not be a great idea because there are just enough nuances that they've adjusted to make it a good idea to go through them. One of the biggest changes that I found was the armor system. Instead of health packs that instantly heal you up, now you've got these packs that repair your armor from 0 to the top, but it is not instant anymore. So you got to hold down a key, and it has an induction timer. It takes I don't know the exact amount. I didn't time it. I probably should have, but it does require you to use cover much more efficiently. Especially considering that in the Division 1 you could pretty much run and gun in the streets if you want to, and you don't really have any problems surviving that kind of thing, especially at the max level. I think this change was made specifically to stop you from running and gunning in the streets and make you take cover more often. But in order to contrast that, they seem to have made it so that your enemies die a lot quicker, even purple ones and the yellow ones. They make no illusion that they didn't make a bullet sponge game, because let's be honest, they did, especially when you are fighting the boss enemies. What they've done to help you sort of feel okay about that is the characters visually display damage when you are blasting away at them. So like the very first boss in the first mission has quite a bit of armor on. When you blast away at him, his chest piece armor blows off, and then you can see his exposed self and shoot him and take care of him pretty quick. It would have been nice to have that in the Division 1, especially having gone back now. I can see just how crazy bullet spongy everyone is, especially when you turn it up to World Tier 5 in order to try and get the better gear and all that stuff. The mobs in that are just ridiculous. I mean, it's almost not quite fun because you're putting hundreds of rounds into these guys with light machine guns, and they're just kind of shrugging it off. Sometimes they'll tweak out and jump off of a cliff, a ledge, but beyond that, you're seeing people take a tremendous amount of 5.56 ammunition straight to the face and not really caring too much about it. The Division 2 does try to address that, I think. I was able to try the 30th level characters, so they gave you 3 builds to play with on the last day, I think. And you're able to run around and try the high-end skill trees that they've changed up. That's probably the biggest change between Division 1 and 2, is the subclasses and how they've basically added them into the game. I tried the sniper. I basically got a 4th weapon. It was like a Barrett Light 50 sniper rifle. I will tell you this, I don't feel like sniping is still that viable, considering that you are using a bolt action rifle that does not kill enemies in one hit. It does drop them down to practically nothing, but then they do have the opportunity of running for cover. Kind of defeats the purpose of sniping. I'd rather have a machine gun that takes just a few more seconds to get them down to that 0 point, rather than be forced to sit there and watch a reload animation before I can shoot again. I mean, kind of the point of having one of those high-powered rifles is that if you do line up the perfect shot, you take them out immediately. I did notice that headshots were doing that for the most part, but if you miss and you get them in the chest, even with this big-ass gun, they're still surviving it. So I'm not sure about that, but I didn't really get a chance to play with the skills that much either. I don't know about the rest of you, but when I know for a fact that I'm going to play a game, especially in this case where I had to pre-order it to play the beta, I only really get a taste to see how much I really liked it. In this case, because I was going to make a video, I played it a lot longer than I would have normally, but I did not dive into the high-end stuff. The reason for that is that I didn't really get it, and I need to organically level myself up to that point so that I can at least understand the progression that got me there. Diving in with a high-level character, it's like buying a character in WoW, and I don't feel like I'm able to really utilize everything that they give me at that point. So, I mean, while it was really neat to get a view of what that's going to be like, at the same time, it didn't really help me with my decision on whether or not I was going to play it. I'm curious how other people feel about the game. I think that the missions feel pretty darn similar. The voice acting is a little shaky in my opinion, and some of the models, the character models, weren't great. A few of the other things that I really did like, though, were that the NPCs that are running around actually have a purpose now. They're not just hanging out waiting for you to give them a soda so they can hand you a handgun, or, you know, like yesterday I gave somebody a Cliff Bar and she told me that I had renewed her reason to live, which seemed a little bit too much responsibility for a Cliff Bar. But in either case, the new characters, the new NPCs, are actually running around the city doing things. They're repairing generators, they're collecting supplies for their base. They help each other out, they help you out. They talk about what's going on, so that's kind of neat. I have a vague idea of what the story is, only because of the introductory cutscene that they offer you in the beta. And then they offer you some text when you start playing the high-end character. But I'm not entirely sure how we got from New York is ground zero for a plague to the Division 2 Fallout edition. Because that's what it really feels like. Either the Fallout version of the Division or The Last of Us. The city is overgrown, there's deer running around, there are foxes, tons of wildlife. The place is just hosed. And it is kind of neat. They said it's one-to-one representation of Washington, D.C., which is really cool. It gives it that sort of Assassin's Creed attention to detail, like their Discovery series that they did for Assassin's Creed Origin. But we'll see how that all plays out. The Dark Zone has been revamped a little bit. I didn't actually try that, but I will definitely be trying it when I play the game full time, when the full version comes out. And it looks like they've got a lot of great systems in place for a long-term game, specifically for raiding and for in-game content. I'll definitely be there. I'm really excited about it. I went from not excited at all to really looking forward to trying the full game. There was no good character generation in the public beta, or this private beta, whatever it was. So you just had to hit random until you found a character that you liked the look of. I'm also looking forward to being able to make my own, which will be nice. I was a little disappointed that your character is a silent protagonist, but I mean, what can you do? That seems to be the way that Ubisoft is going. It's what I didn't like about Far Cry 5. I felt that my character was pretty much ridiculous, not having any kind of communication other than waving her arms around. I really would have preferred them to give that person a voice. I mean, if a game like Saints Row can have 4 different character voices per gender, then I don't see why Ubi can't do at least 2. You know, I really hate having your character just be this proxy person that does what they're told without saying a word and just sort of nodding and wandering off and shooting things. I don't know. That's just me. Subscribe if you want to see more. And did you like The Division 2? Did you try the beta? Are you looking forward to the game when it comes out? Why don't you leave me a comment below and start up a discussion. Thanks very much.